Hi kawan, welcome to EDCReady. Today I'm going to do a disassembly of my first ever grill knife. It is the ZT-0450CF, and without further ado, let's get on to it. First impressions, I already uploaded it. Great knife, couple of ergonomic problems from what I can feel carrying it for a few days already. But without further ado, let's take this knife apart, see if we can already improve on this amazing action. A couple of things I'm worried about is that the screws kind of go straight into the titanium, and the screws are a harder metal than the titanium, so I really don't want the screws to like damage the titanium. We also have, I believe, a free spinning pivot, so let's see if that is going to be a problem. Without further ado, okay, I'm trying to spin it. However, this side here is also turning. Okay, so I'm going to need to call for backup. So right now I am going to take out my other screwdriver here, which also has a T8, although this is a pretty bad screw Torx bit right here because it's really soft. And from taking apart many knives already, as you can see, the edges here have already worn out a little bit. So I kind of just use it to kind of control the knife as I take it apart. Let's spin from this side. Let's see if we can just spin it from this side. Nope, it won't work. So this has to go in like so. The good thing about this knife is that the screws itself actually are pretty deep. Okay, let's do one of these. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, mainly because the problem is that I can't get traction out of this one, so I'm gonna switch it around. Put this in here so that I can grip it like so, and then turn this bad boy around. Alright, that's working, and out it comes. As you can see here, what we have is some thread locker that they put in. It's alright, no harm done. Looks like it's fine. Let's open it up. Okay, let's take out the rest of it now. Now, I hope that the other ones won't put up a fight at all. So let's just hope that's the case, because it is just one screw this time. T6s in the back. That is not turning. Why is that? Is there more thread locker? It's definitely the right size of screw. Okay, that's coming out. It's pretty long. Okay, let's try this guy one more time. Maybe what I'm doing, or what I'm not doing, is adding enough pressure to it. Okay, what I'm really hoping is that I'm not stripping out the screws. Maybe it's a different size. It would be very weird if this was a T7. Okay, that's not going in. Let's put the T6 back on, because the back one was a T6 and that came out pretty easily. What I'm worried about is that this has a lot of thread locker on it, just like the pivot had. Okay, we have a problem here. I really doubt it's a T5. No, it's definitely a T6. It won't fit a T7. Guys, have I already screwed up? Am I not able to take this knife apart? If I already stripped out the screws, this T6 is not going to go in. It's a pretty worn out T6, to be honest. Let's try this T7. This T7 for some reason is a lot smaller than the regular T7. Okay. Getting some good grip here. Okay, that's coming out. However, whoa, that's problematic. That was not an easy thing to do. There we go, that's why. Check out the amount of thread locker on that. That is a lot of thread locker for such a small screw. And then what that means is that I might have stripped out the Torx bit right here. I don't know if it's stripped out. It may have been. Hold on, I'm gonna take a closer look. It may have been stripped out because, do I get any Torx? Okay, it still holds on to the screw. However, there is a lot of wiggle room, and yeah, I may have just stripped this out. Compared to that screw, this screw has very little Loctite, which meant that it came out pretty easily. Oh well. Hopefully it didn't damage the knife too much, because then I would be in trouble. Okay, gotta remember to put that back in later. Alright. And here we go. That's it. This is a little washer that goes into here. And yeah, you have it on the other side, which has no washers because it's on steel. Now, before we go any further, I would like to take my microfiber cloth, which I forgot to take just now, so just give me a second. Alright, so we're just gonna wipe this down, wipe it all internally. As you can see here, this is the lock bar here. It also has a lock bar insert to stop it from overextending on that side, and then we have the detent ball right here. The bearings are pretty clean because, well, I've only had this knife for maybe a few days before I had to remove it. So just wiping it down here, 1, 2. Okay, let's hope it doesn't roll away. I don't want anything like that to disappear. Next up, just want to wipe down the blade here. As you can see here, we have the detent hole for the detent ball right here, and then we have a little track that goes up to it. Alright, gotta wipe the blade down because this blade, this DLC coating, really shows off fingerprints very quickly. Alright, and then from there, I guess we'll just need to put the knife back together, and hopefully I don't destroy the knife in the process. Okay, let's start with the lock side. Let's add a bit of oil. Right here. Right here. Now, the action's already really good, but I just hope that it stays really good. And I want to know that how can we improve the action a little bit. Okay, let's put this bad boy in. Add a little bit more here and there. The stop pin, okay, so the stop pin didn't fall out, which is always a good thing. You don't want things falling out that don't need to move. There we go, that's seated in place. Now what I want to do is I want to put this green backspacer back into here, but it doesn't really want to stick, so I'm going to use a bit of oil here. Hold on. Yeah, there are threads in that titanium, which is going to be a problem if I don't screw it in properly. It's already difficult to take out. Hopefully it's not difficult to put back in. So I'm just using the liquid tension from the oil to hopefully keep everything in as I reassemble the knife. Alright. Put that bad boy in. Add a little bit more dots of oil. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a bit of oil here, not to lubricate it, but hopefully hopefully the oil will help it stick into place as I assemble everything. Right, just going in. That click is a good click. Now, time for the nerve-wracking part. I am not going to put any Loctite because normally these guys don't need much Loctite in the first place. And as you can see, the Loctite kind of makes it difficult to disassemble. So I'm going to very carefully screw this in so that it doesn't damage the titanium on the other side. I'm just going to put just enough pressure to turn it. If I feel any resistance, I will stop turning it. Now, the black sheep of the screws. This is definitely the most expensive knife I've ever taken apart, and I hope to keep it in good working order. Okay. So now the problem is this is jumping. So it's either the T6 bit here is damaged a little bit, which is not completely hard, and then this here might have been damaged in the process of unscrewing it. So I'm gonna need something a little bit sharper to go in, which is my T7. Okay, I'm not gonna push that anymore. I can keep screwing in a bit more, but I don't wanna over screw it in and risk any more damage. It's just enough. Alright, so I am now gonna add a little bit of Loctite. Just a little bit. In fact, let's try not adding Loctite. Here's my theory. So the Loctite is to help the pivot stay in place. Now with a knife that has a non-free spinning pivot, once you screw it in and then it keeps vibrating, that can eventually turn out because the other side doesn't turn. But on this one, the pivot here, it's free spinning, meaning that as it vibrates, it's not just the screws that might vibrate out, but the whole pivot can turn. So in order to maybe help promote the longevity of the knife, I'm going to try to screw it in without the use of any Loctite, and then from there I just want to see if it can hold its pivot. Okay, Houston, we have another problem. Pivot won't go in. Okay, there we go. Alright. Let's check the action. Okay, that is way off. Centering is way off, which means this needs to be a lot tighter. Okay, so that could be better. So what's happening is that I want to keep tightening it. However, it is spinning on the other side. So I'm going to redo this process. Where I try to hold it in on this side. And then screw in from this side. See if I can tighten that. I'm going to tighten it. It should center the blade like it is right now. Let's check out the action. Action is good. That certainly... Knife definitely got smoother. See if we can back this out a little bit more. No, it's things like this that make me wonder, why is this knife so popular that I gotta keep doing this. Let's back it out just a little bit, see if we can improve that. Okay, now there's a little blade play. Yeah, there's definitely blade play. That means that this, and the centering's off, which means that this pivot needs to be maximum tightness. Alright. Looks like I can't get that pivot any looser. The good news is that centering is pretty much perfect. Yeah, perfect centering. Action is just as fast and snappy as before. And it just drops really nice. Just like that. Alright, perfect. Couple of things I've learned. Free spinning pivots are definitely not something I like. Every other knife I have from this Reich pivot is not free spinning. This Civivi D-shaped hole here, pivot is not free spinning. The only other knife that I have that has a free spinning pivot is this Gonzo, and this Gonzo actually came apart a lot easier than this knife. You can check out the video of me taking apart that Gonzo. So having mixed feelings, you know, being a grill knife costing as much as this knife costs, you got a lot of expectation on this knife, and so far it's not really like, the first impressions are definitely better. Definitely after cleaning it out, action got a lot smoother, definitely a lot snappier. But the free spinning pivot issue is kind of turning me off, and this screw like really turned me off. It really took me by surprise why I had such a tough time taking these screws out. Alright, cool. Hope you guys learned something about this video, and to manage your expectations when you buy a grill knife. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I may have stripped these this Torx bit screw here a little bit, because it definitely feels rougher. This doesn't feel rough at all. This feels a little bit like it created a burr. Alright, so please keep an eye out for the full review that will come out after I carry this for a few more weeks. Okay, see you guys and stay ready.